Welcome to Ready Set RC, and today we have the Redcat Ascent 18 scale brushed electric four-wheel drive rock crawler. This is pretty much a ready to run RC. The only thing you're going to need for this is the 4 AA's for the transmitter. We purchased this directly from Redcat with the promotional price of $99.99. The truck comes in 3 different colors. We got the red, but it also comes in a graphite, which is more of like a gray, and then a metallic blue. I think all 3 colors look amazing, guys. This truck comes with portal axles, full ball bearings throughout. All right, guys, let's see what we get in the box. I've already checked this out to some degree because I already have some hop-ups that I plan on putting on this truck, and I'm gonna show you guys what those hop-ups are. We're not even going to hold it back from you guys. Immediately, I want to show you what this truck looks like. It looks amazing. And that's the red. Hopefully the camera and the lighting in here is going to do it some justice. I'm actually on my workbench doing these videos because I got something special for you guys to see when we take this truck out. They give you some body posts. They give you a USB charger for the LiPo battery that operates the truck, and a decal sheet. You get a very slim quick start guide, really basic, guys. I don't think you're going to really need this. I think the main one for most of you that are not familiar with it is going to have to learn how to take the body off, but otherwise everything else is pretty much straightforward to what you would see in most RCs. Then you get the controller, and I'm pretty sure we've seen this type of controller before. I believe I've seen it with Axial and some other brands that are out there. It is a very basic controller, but it's a very good controller for ready to run. Flip that top up here, and you're gonna have your steering reverse, your throttle reverse, your bind button, your steering trim, your throttle trims, steering dual rate, on-off switch right here. You have a 3rd channel right here at my thumb, and a 4th channel down here. Throttle, steering. As I mentioned before, very basic, but it is a very good controller. Down below, you're gonna put your 4 AA's. I'm not gonna hold you too much on this, guys, because I wanna get this truck out on the course and let you guys see how it performs. But we'll talk about it really quick. We have these fairly tacky feeling tires, and there is a foam in there. The only issue that I have with these, I would probably prefer to have seen these in beadlocks versus they're being glued on, so we can reuse the tires on this truck. The wheels are composite, and to get the body off, hopefully the camera's gonna pick that up. You're gonna turn this knob, the body hinges up so you can work on it this way, or you can put it down and pull it forward right over the bumper, and the body comes right off. There are no lights tethered to the body. You can see the front hinge system on the body, and then the locking mechanism on the rear. But this body looks really good, guys. It's a metallic look to it, as you guys can clearly see from the video. You have a decal over here in the back. These windows are cleared out, but there is a slight tint to them. The paint underneath is backed with a silver. And there's some slight protection right here up in the front. Feels nice and sturdy. As I mentioned earlier on the truck, you have the portal axles up in the front. Also on the rear, you can see more about that hinge system that I was mentioning. This locks down onto the hinge system in the front of the truck. Then you have composite links for the steering, all up here in the front. Servo on axle. Regarding the links down below, we're looking at a 4-link suspension in the front, all composite, and another 4 links in the rear, all composite. Drive shafts are composite, but they are telescopic. The axles in the front and also in the rear are also composite. Composite bodied shocks, but they feel fairly smooth. And I'd love to say Hex hardware throughout, but there's a mixture of Hex and also Phillips hardware on this RC. I don't know why they did that. This is a metal chassis on the truck. I'm not sure if you guys are gonna be able to see that up close. But we got a metal chassis on the truck. Composite front and rear bumpers on the truck. We have a 2-in-1 ESC, and that's basically a ESC and receiver, and an RC180 brush motor up here in the front. Looks like if you want to try to put some of the weight up in the front by strapping down the battery up in the front, you probably can do that. And not this battery. I have some smaller ones, but I don't know, guys. I think I'm happy with the way that it's set up right now. Just go over some of the dimensions. The overall length is 218 millimeters. The overall width is 130 millimeters. The overall height is 114 millimeters. The wheelbase is 155 millimeters, and the ground clearance is 42 millimeters. The servo on this is a 4-kilogram metal geared waterproof servo. I like to say water resistant. For the LiPo, we're looking at a 2S 750 mAh LiPo, and it has a JST connector coming off of it. But what's next for the Ascent? We're gonna get this truck out on the course, see how it performs box stock, and then we're gonna install all the goodies on this truck. But I wanna show you guys what the goodies are that we got for it. So I bought these Amazon special Beadlock wheels, and they have brass rings to them as well. So we're gonna put a little bit of weight down low on the truck. I picked up the Furitek 2S brushless system. It's the 118 starter pack. I actually purchased this before they came out with a kit for this truck. So this is the one that's going to be for the TRX4. We're gonna see how it performs. If it works, great. If it doesn't, then we'll move on. But directly from Redcat, I picked up the brass diff covers for the truck. And this is gonna be the part number for the diff covers. And I also wanted to get some weight down in the front. So I went ahead and I picked up the brass servo mount for the truck. And then lastly, I went ahead and I picked up the steering link for the truck. Just a little bit of bling. I'll put all part numbers that I purchased for the truck down in the description below. And then if you guys are probably wondering what tires we're gonna wrap this with, I found some tires that I'm already using on another truck. They're by Injora. They're about the same height and width as the stock tires. So we're not going with anything too much different, and I believe the tread isn't too far off. As I mentioned, I'm going with some Injora tires for this truck. These are some tires that I had for my Furitek 6x6. Felt these would be a good tire. Not sure if you guys are gonna be able to see that, but the height and the width are very comparable to what's on the truck already. Tread is very close. It's not the same, but the tread is very close to it too as well. It's really close. These feel super tacky, but I wish I could have just taken these off. I mean, that I probably could heat them up and get them off, but why when these are so cheap? I believe these are like $15.99 on Amazon to pick them up. Not even worth the headache of trying to get these off. And plus, if I ever want to put the stocks back on, I can. But let's get the truck on the course and see how it performs. So first impressions of the Ascent 18. I think the ESC is very capable. I wish the modulation was a little bit lower, and that motor is crying in this. For those of you that are familiar with this course, you know I've done some minor changes to it. But it's really built for a 24th scale truck. But this seems to do pretty well on it. Woo, there we go. Motor's a little whiny. And I wish the foams would just give a little bit. So that way it would make some of these climbs a lot easier. But we're gonna throw those hop-ups in. Oh, tried to throttle out. Yeah, struggling up there. Beginning of the launch, 99 bucks, US. It was a great price. I think it's now at 119. But definitely a truck worth picking up even at its current price. Let's get those mods in and see how it performs with the mods. I really like the steering throw on this. And I didn't have a problem with the steering throw before, but I will say, guys, I did throw a Spectrum radio system on there and I did not like the throw, so I went ahead and put the Fly Sky system in there. The other thing that I'm truly impressed, and I've had the Venom system with the Leopard Pro ESC before, but man, is it so smooth on this truck. The modulation is way better than the stock system. Hopefully you guys can pick that up. Look at those tires. There's still a little bit of push, but I like how these tires conform to the landscape as opposed to the stock tires. They just, I mean, you probably have to do something with the foams to really get the most out of them. But I truly like how these perform. They grip nicely, and they do really well on this course. This truck is truly impressive, guys. And I thought it was a pretty good stock truck. Other than the motor being a little whiny, I thought it was not bad out of the box, especially at this price point. But now, with these little upgrades, wow. Truly am impressed. Look at that. Really impressed with this truck. This may be, well, let's get the may out of it. This is my favorite budget. Wow. Yeah, going with this power system, I saw no need to go after low speed gears if Redcat eventually comes out with them. Just throw a Furitek system in there and you are good to go, guys. Look at that. Look at that. That modulation is really good. Let alone the articulation on this truck is pretty good too. Take it through that mud pit. As I mentioned before, this is really for 24th scales and not long wheelbase 24th scales, are like true 24th scales crawlers, but these 18 scales seem to be pretty fun on it too. So guys, in wrapping up, I don't want to make this video any more longer than it already is, but in wrapping up, this truck is so impressive, especially with these hop-ups on there, but even without the hop-ups, I thought this truck was pretty good. Just so if you guys want to see wheel speed, I'll show you what that looks like. This is how pretty much I was running it. About that much on the trigger, not much at all. And then giving it a little bit of speed. That's all the beans on it. So it's super quick, and I feel that even if you're going to use this as like a trail truck, and with this setup, you got enough speed out of it to really do it. I mean, Redcat really did a good job with this truck, but if you do these minor upgrades to it, I think it even makes it a serious crawler, especially at this price point. I think it's worth it. Some crawlers, you're already at that higher price point, and putting more upgrades in them almost doesn't make it worth it. But this truck, especially if you were able to get it at the original promotional price, which was like $99.99, and even at the $119.99 price. It's a very good truck for its size and how it performs. But we're going to leave it here, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram for the latest updates to the channel. This is Ready Set RC, signing out. Thanks again, guys.